begin in the second hour of the program today. In the third hour, Dr. James Fetzer will join us. Dr. Fetzer, of course, has been instructing us on how to spot a false flag. And I think we're going to get into that again today. We're kind of going to wrap that up. But we're also going to talk a little bit, I hope, about the faked moon landing in 1969. And yes, we may be on the moon and on Mars and on other planets as well. But that's all part of the secret space program. The program that we have been led to believe is real may have been a Hollywood movie. We'll talk to Dr. James Fetzer about that in the third hour. And then in the final hour of the program today, we're going to talk with a woman who contacted me yesterday. She said she's a receptionist, or was a receptionist, at a pediatrician's office. But she walked in and quit her job yesterday because she said, we have a little bit of time as well. Well, we're going to take your calls. So all of that is what's coming up today. Hope you'll stick around for all of it. Before we do any of that, if you don't mind, let's do as we do each and every day in this broadcast and take just a couple of moments to honor our nation. He should be coming into the studio any moment now, hopefully. And we'll find out. In the meantime, let's. I wanted to bring something up. I wonder if this bothers any of you. This is something that kind of gets my goat a little bit. And I haven't talked about it too much. I'm a news junkie. I have to be in order to be doing what it is I do. I'm constantly visiting news sites every day. And one of the things that really bothers me is when you have a news aggregation site, like the Drudge Report. I'm not referring to them because I really don't use them anymore. But another news aggregation site, for example, and you click on a link to a news story and you find you can't log in and watch it because you're not a subscriber to that site. That really bothers me. I don't mind having subscription sites. I have and I do mean the great Emmanuel Blue. Emmanuel, how are you today, sir?
I'm fine. I'm humbled by that introduction. Great.
Well, we're humbled.
There was this renaissance of young.
Sorry, y'all, commercial.
Interesting information from you, what that something is.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Like the Bible says when I say whoa, something.
Whoa is coming too. Yeah, I believe that.
Want to get into the dark side, symbols, discern, and the music industry.
All right.
From the outset, I want to say I want to play a 2-minute rant that I did a few weeks ago with you.
Yeah.
And what we have to understand is this: with every generation, the older the generation is, they consider us the minors. They're looking to take care of the major. That is who? They want to always heavily influence the young. That's the ones that they want. That's right. Those are the ones they want. They're not going to tune into your program. They're going to turn into all the social media. That's why the devil went after those groups, because he knows the goal is to get the young. Yeah. And historically,
for various reasons, but I thought that was a very powerful statement or overview that came out of me. And I just wanted to make that the basis from what I can start, because again, whoa, something is coming.
You know, and I really appreciate that you replayed that, because I was thinking about that shortly after your appearance, and you're absolutely right. If the youth rely only on the crap that they get from the so-called mainstream media, the influence that it has on them is so horrific, unless they are able to balance it with a good message from another source, such as yourself. It's going to have a real bad effect, a deleterious effect on their lives. And I'm glad you reiterated that.
Yeah, because one of the first things I believe that the dark side did, they went after the media because they know the goal is to control the mind. And where the mind goes, that's the future of the country.
Yeah.
But that was the plan. So now, once this conditioning is completed, the byproducts are wayward children, lawlessness, misguided, sexual perversion, because lust can never be satisfied. That's a spirit. In this generation, we do have, just some crazy sexual legislation coming out even in our schools where they're teaching about the private parts at an early age, which I'm sure
Yeah.
you're very aware.
Oh, we've been talking about it incessantly. Unfortunately, one good thing is that parents are beginning to speak up about it. I've actually played videos of some parents confronting the school boards, and saying, what, how come, you're teaching our 5-year-olds about masturbation and about, gender identity and all that sort of thing. They said it's absolutely, ludicrous. And I'm glad people are finally starting to speak up about that.
Yes, because we're seeing the old pagan, again, like I said about a few weeks ago, we're dealing with the pagan Phoenician period where it was like no holds barred, Satanism, lack of empathy. And now in this generation, we have drug usage, excessive drinking, witchcraft, less accountability. A generation that draws not from the wisdom and mistakes of the parents and grandparents, but from the nonsense of entertainers, which we'll get into in the future.
Yeah.
I call them the image shapers. See, this devil, of course, he's not just going to come out and show himself over. He utilizes these vessels and someone that they can relate to, these young entertainers, and then we automatically latch on. Not we, but a large percentage of the youth, they latch on. And this is what happens when you have arguably over 50% of the households, let's say right here in America, with no balance of a father and a mother. And so what's happening is that the influence becomes more stronger. So now we're becoming sheeple and eventually dummied down to the lowest ebb, so that the once perfected DNA atom won't in any measurable fashion utter, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." It is a gradual snatching away of the birthright and plan of God to always have man in his image. God created thoughts and actions. Hollywood, social media, and media are the trio of deception launched against this generation, leaving no stone unturned and nothing remaining in its arsenal. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We are in a kingdom battle. This trio is the one tool utilized to bring destruction, and out from it, the Phoenician arising New World Order. One way the dark side is ushering in this is the CERN. It's a big computer. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but there is a thing going on for the last maybe it was brought into existence, I wanted to say in 1954. The European Organization for Nuclear Research, known as CERN, is a European research organization that operates the largest particle physics laboratory in the world.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's deep now. Established in 1954, the organization is based in the northwest suburb of Geneva on the Franco-Swiss border and has 23 member states. Now, with my research I've been doing the last few years, there's actually 7 places, but the main one is in Switzerland. And in layman's terms, they have actually been able to tap into, when I say the dark side, put this in quotes, in capital letters, the dark side. And I want to play for you about a 4 or 5 minute tape that Pastor Darby, he's the late Pastor Darby, he was one of the ministers and professional people in the field to break this down from a spiritual aspect. And then at that point, I'll explain the video that I also sent to you. But again, the bottom line in layman's terms is that the dark side has figured out a way, quote unquote, to go into the belly of the beast and into the depths of the ground and bore through rocks in on in. And they are actually reaching that period where the Bible talks about in the last days those spirits will be unleashed. That's basically their goal, according to certain evangelists. So I want to play that for you right quick.
Okay.
So much to it. I don't even know how to get in it, but I'm gonna try. Now, what is CERN? Now, I'm gonna break this down as easy as I can possibly make it, so you'll understand it.
I was nervous.
Sorry, guys. Another commercial.
It is a facility over in Switzerland. It's a 17-mile underground circle that they put 300 feet underground, and it's 17 miles wide. What they are doing is they are taking matter, or you learned this in school where you know what anatomy, matter, the building blocks, the smallest particle, matter, right? They're taking that and they're shooting it at the speed of light through this 17-mile circle, which is a magnetic field and they're shooting it as fast as they can get it because they're trying to go through another dimension. They've already said what they're trying to do. Now, the particles that they're shooting create something. And I'm going to get into this and show you how all of this is working. Now, this is the most dangerous thing that there is. This is the revelation. This is what the book of Revelation was talking about. They are going to have this thing that's going to be in full power by September this year. By September, they've already started up. It takes months to get it at full speed. They had it started 2 years ago, but it wasn't enough power, so they doubled the power. And they started it up this time. And what it does, they find in other things that it does. And they say they don't know what's going to happen. That's what they say. I don't believe that. But they say that something is going to bend time and space. So you've been watching this through movies all this time. You've been watching this. I told y'all that they are putting this stuff in the movies because they're conditioning you for it. Because they're conditioning you for what's coming. You got to realize all the movies is about fighting against this alien thing or whatever's coming. They're getting you ready to fight against something that's coming. Y'all there? Now, so what they're doing is with this over in Switzerland is now Stephen Hawking, which is the top physicist. You know that little crippled dude in the wheelchair, but he's a physicist. He can't.
And tonight, Joe Biden has completely and totally, frankly, just humiliated the United States on the world stage. Any confidence the world had in our country is now gone. Saigon, circa 1975, steroids. Former Defense Secretary and CIA Director Leon Panetta rightly calling it, Biden's Bay of Pigs. And thanks to the ill-fated actions of our derelict, low-functioning president, if you want to even say that, that's somewhat charitable. The absolute worst-case scenario has been playing out before our eyes.
Y'all, so that was the end of the video. Meet me back here at 9:00 p.m. where I duly elected will be on Hanny, which is Fox News. Sean Hanny, Fox News, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I'll see you then.